All right, so now we're going to talk about just adding some of our own custom sounds to make sure we know how to do this. So if we take a look and on the internet, we can find some sounds. I went to quicksounds.com. That was the only one I could find that I didn't have to create an account. So I'm going to use a grenade bounce sound for my ball. So I can pick the one I like, and then I can just click download, and it'll download into my downloads folder. So you can see that there. All right, so now we want to come back to our program. Now we want to go put a sound in. We want to do a sound when the ball hits the wall. So let's go to our browser or our event editor here, and we're looking for collides with the background. Well, we make it bounce. So we also want to play a sound here. So we're going to go to our sound, right click, go to samples, and we're going to play sample. And now we got to go from a file. We got to find where we got it. It was in the downloads folder. Of course, it doesn't show up there. Let's see if it shows up under here. There it is, downloads. So I'm just going to pick my sound and upload it. And now, hopefully, when I run it, I will hear a sound when it bounces the ball. There we go. We can hear the two different sounds. Awesome. All right. Well, I just made this video once, and I forgot to hit the record button, so my project's done. So I'm hoping I'll be able to just kind of talk you guys through this without confusing you too much. All right, so this video that I just did that I didn't hit record on, what I did was I made some additions to a second level and made some changes. So I want to go over all that stuff again. So if you want to make another level that's the same level, essentially, what you can do is go to your storyboard editor, and you can right click on that first level and do copy. Then you can come down here and then you could do paste. Well, it won't let me now because I have more than 3 screens. But if you didn't have, only had 2 screens, it would work. All right. Sorry, let me go back. So let me delete that out. So I can have access, but you just right click, copy, and then come down to the available frame, right click and do paste, and that'll add in a copy of that level. Then change that level name to level 2, so you have a level 2 just like me. All right, so you can add in a cheat code. So if you look at my second level, the cheat code, oh, it's redirecting me here. So the cheat code that I made, it's taking me to the whole program. Let me get inside the frame here. Run frame. If I hit space, the ball stops, and then I can cheat and click. So that's what they suggested. You're more than welcome to pick any sort of cheat you want, but let's go through how that was done. So what I did was I went to my event editor, and I did a new condition. And I did a mouse press, or I'm sorry, a keyboard upon pressing key, and then I pressed the space button here. I'm hitting X, but space bar is what I used. And then I said, well, if I want the ball to stop, I come over here to the ball, and I would go to movement, and I would say stop. So when X is pressed, or now when space is pressed, either one of these will stop the ball and make it easy to click. You know, and as far as other things for making your game unique in the second level, because that's what you should be doing, you can change the speed of the ball pretty easily under the properties. Notice I moved mine up to 50. You could resize the ball to make it smaller and harder to click by changing the size here. You can change the background to something else. You can add in more balls, and you can add in bombs if you want. So if you notice, I have a picture in an image of a bomb there. That is in your clickball folder, and we'll talk about how we can do that as well. But right now, if you try to play your whole game with both levels after you've created your custom level, you'll notice that once the first level's done, it doesn't go to the second level, and that's a bug. So we have to do some debugging here and figure out why that is. So in the first level, our score goes up to 10, and that tells us we won. Now in the second level, it's an exact copy. So it's saying, well, when the score is 10, we won. But when we get to the second level, our score is already 10, so it just bounces out of level 2. So what we need to do is adjust our values for level 2. So if I go to the event editor, you can notice what I did was I just hopefully my next videos will go a little smoother. So where the last video left off was we were talking about, oh geez, the issue with the second level not playing. So when we're in the second level, what we need to do here is come up here, right click, and go to edit. And we need to change this value to 20. So that way we have level 1 is 1 through 10, and then level 2 is 11 through 20. And that way both of our levels will play. So make sure you add transitions. I don't think I said that in the last video, so again, all of mine's done. So make sure here you're changing the transitions to make it prettier. So your enemies. So I created this enemy called enemy bomb. You guys all have this image in your folder now. So what I did was I went to insert, new object, and then it's actually, you select the active and hit OK. And then click and it adds it. Then I can double click on the active object and hit clear to erase everything. Then I can go to import and import that bomb. So the bomb, notice it has transparent color. It looks like it's right, but I'm going to hit pick and I'm going to select that. So that way when it loads it in, it'll remove all of that color from around it. All right, so doing pretty good here. We're going to hit OK. I think I'm not forgetting anything. So one of the things is we need to resize this. This bomb is way too big, so we come over here and we can change the width to 32 and the height to 44, and that gives it a nice relative size to the ball. All right, and then we also should come up here and rename it to enemy bomb. So remember, you can just right click on it and go rename, and then you can change the name of it. But I'm just going to hit delete. Maybe. There we go, delete. So the bomb, what we'd want to do with the bomb is that if we clicked on it, we should just move to the next level, like that's the end of our level. So what we can do here is go to our event editor. You can see I already did it. So what you're going to do is create a new condition and say, well, when the user clicks on an object, and then you're going to say left click, single click, and you're going to select the bomb. So when you select the bomb, well, that means we want to go to the next level. So that's what I did. I went here to the storyboard and I said, go to the next frame. Bam. Since I already did this, delete it out. All right. And notice I also added in a cheat about pressing spacebar. So I just said, well, when the user presses a key and then I hit the space bar, hit Z this time, then I'm going to make the ball stop moving. It's for my cheat. So that was my cheat. You know, be creative with your cheat. Try to come up with something different. So I'm going to get rid of that. I don't know how that got there, so I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. All right, so the last thing is you got to make your last frame. So I'm going to go back, and this is really up to you on how you're going to make it, but here's my frame. So I want you to make sure you add in some text. So to do that, you can come up here to insert, go to new object, text, string, okay. Then you can type it in. So you can double click and I can type whatever I want here. Then I could come back in here and highlight it, come up here to my text settings, my fonts, change my font, change my size if I want it bold or something. So I can make it look a little more unique. And that's what I did with the You're a Winner right there. All right. Next thing is we got to be able to do a high score. The high score we've already done. The way we do that is we go to Insert, New Object. And then we go to Games, and then we select high score, and then we drop it where we want it. If we don't like where it's at, we can move it around. Delete that. So the next thing that we haven't talked about are buttons. So buttons in the same exact spot. We go to Insert, New Object, we go to Interface, we go to Button, okay. Now I can drop the button in. Now I can double click on the button and I can change what it says. So that's how we change what it says. So you need to make two buttons, one that says Replay and one that says Quit. And when you make your two buttons, make sure you rename them. Notice over here I named Button Quit and Button Replay. They shouldn't be random names. And that'll be more important for the next step. So we need to code these buttons to say what we want to do here. All right, I'm still recording. I went 6 minutes, so I guess I fixed that issue. All right, so to do that, we're going to go to our event editor. And I'm only going to do one of them with you, but you can see how to do the other one. You can go to New Condition. Notice when I hover over them, I can see that this one is the button Quit and this is the button Replay. That's why we need meaningful names so we know which one we're clicking on. So I'm going to do the Quit. So if I click on the button Quit, I want to quit the game. So I'm going to go to End the Application. Yeah. And then you're going to do the same thing for the Replay button, but you're going to select Restart the application instead of End the application.